Welcome. We're going to talk about IELTS Q-card. What's the main problem you guys really face when solving IELTS Q-card? I feel like the main problem is idea generation. That's what I really feel. It's mainly because whenever you guys talk and I try to listen to you guys, what happens after 30 seconds, 40 seconds, sometimes after 1 minute you get dry. You can't really talk anything. So you have the tendency, two things happen. Number one, you stop in between a lot that affect your fluency, affect your score. Another thing also happens, sometimes you just try to force it. What happens, you can't force it anymore, so again you need to stop a lot. So that's really happen. Main problem, you don't have enough idea to talk about. You get dry, right? You get blank out. Okay, what I can talk more. So that's the main problem, right? So finding out the problem is always important to solve it, right? You got the problem is with the idea. Today's class, I'm gonna try to give you that much idea so that you can talk like as long as you want. Well, you can't really talk as long as you want, but still if you can just implement some of those points, you can really talk nearly 90% of the Q card up in a very good way. Okay, let's go move forward. First thing first, in IELTS Q card, generally they will going to give you three things to talk about. Generally 90%, 95% cases. One is, I'm gonna show you, I have copied kind of Cambridge 19 to Cambridge 16, 15, like that, kind of all Q card out there. So I'm going to show you those. Don't worry about that. So three things. Number one is product, then place, and after that person. So these are the three things they are going to really ask. They're going to ask you about a product, or they're going to ask you about a place, or some other times they're going to ask you about a person. So let's go and see some of the topic. Really, can we get that? All right, like here, no, not this one. We're going to see that later on. First, move forward some of the topic. First, describe a person. Describe a person from your country who has own. So ultimately, you need to talk about a person. See, the main problem, another problem is we really concentrate on these four questions. In Q card, they'll going to give you a topic, and also they're going to give you four questions, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and your concentration and focus point is so much on these questions you can't really think beyond. Okay, see, think about this question. This question is so direct, you can't really talk more. You can't really talk more than 1 or 2 sentences. First question, who this person is, so you're just gonna say the name of that person, right? Which prize, award, or medal they received, you're going to say the name of that prize. Done. What did they do? So see, the questions is super direct. You can't really talk a lot about these questions. So my suggestion for you, don't really focus on these questions for two reasons. Number one, they're saying you should say. They're not saying you must say. It's not mandatory. You need to say all of the answers. And moreover, most importantly, actually the questions are designed in a way when you will going to talk about this, these questions will be automatically covered. When you will going to talk about a person, won't you say the name of that person? Who is he or she? You will. So the first C is automatically covered. When you will gonna talk about his prize or something, win his success, right, then obviously you're going to say what kind of success that person got, what he or she did. So see, the questions designed in that manner, 2, 3 out of 4 questions you're gonna be covered automatically. First, they are not saying it's must thing. Second, don't bother, it will gonna be covered automatically, so don't worry about it. The first thing first, you need to forget all the questions they are giving you, because your focus point, see, to take the notes or make the preparation, you have only 60 seconds, only 60. And think about, only 60 seconds means 5 seconds will going to just be gone, because when they're going to give you some, okay, the time is really running out, you are in the rush, right? Your brain will not work properly, and first 1, 2, 3 seconds will gonna take the time to flip the paper. So see, 5 seconds will gonna be gone, and then think about other 55 seconds. Will you do me a favor? Just turn on your stopwatch and try to read from here to here. Just read it. How many seconds do you think it will gonna take just to read the questions? 30 seconds at least. See, describe a person from your country who has won a prize, award, and medal. All right, so I need to say who this person is, which prize, award, or medal they receive, okay, what they did to win this, and explain whether you think it was right that this person received this prize, award, or medal. See, I just read the question. How many seconds do you think it took? And now think about it. Can you really remember everything that you read? No, nah, very simple. So that's what I am saying. Like, you read too much in the time of taking preparation of Q card. You kind of read like 30 to 40 seconds out of 1 minute. How will you be able to just take the notes? That's the problem. You don't spend like, because you have only 55 seconds on your hand, and this is what you must read. That will gonna be to understand and read, that will gonna be take like 20 seconds. So you have 35 seconds. If you invest like 20 to 25 seconds to just read the questions, how or when will gonna plan? So your cue card answer will not gonna be very good if you go in that manner. All right, so very direct. Don't read the questions. That's my first thing. Don't read the question. Just read the topic, what I am need to talk about, what I am going to talk about. You're going to talk about a person here. Okay, next one. Read it. Describe a car journey you made that look longer than expected. So you're talking about a journey. Journey means a place, right? Isn't it? When you are going from one place to another, that's what they're asking. Journey means what? Journey means going from one place to another. You're actually talking about places. Maybe not single place, different places, and what you really did in those places, isn't it? Maybe you stopped sometimes, then you needed to go to the washroom. Some other times you needed to stop. Maybe you were tired. Maybe another time you needed to take this stop as to another restaurant to eat something. You're hungry. So see, you're talking about the place. You have done a lot of things in different places, but ultimately you're talking about a place, nothing else. All right, so see, most of the cases you're just going to get that. Even in the next one, see, describe some food or drink that you learn to prepare. So you're going to talk about a product, isn't it? Ultimately, food or drinks, it's a product. So see, sometimes you fail to identify, some other times you successfully identified, but most of the cases, 90% case, 80% cases, 95% cases, you will going to get about three things: place, product, person. Simple. So now you know you're going to get in the time of exam, either you will need to talk about a product, or you will need to talk about a place, or maybe you will need to talk about a person. These are the three things you're going to talk about, right? Now you need the ideas. How many things you can talk about a person? How many things you can talk about a place? How many things you can talk about a product? So let's dive into that. First, let's go with a place name. First, whenever you're going to talk about a place, you must talk about the place name 100%, right? And then you need to talk about like where it is, the location. You need to talk about the location. Then see, after that you can talk about what to see, because whenever you visit a place, you really go there to see some things, right? To enjoy some scenery. So see here, what students make the mistakes, they don't dive into the details. What is the details? First say, maybe you go to a sea beach. First say you go to a sea beach, you stay there for maybe 2 days. First say you stay there for 2 days. In the morning, maybe you went there to see the sunrise. Maybe in the evening or noontime, you went there to see the sunset. Maybe in the evening time, you went there to have some activities or some other things. So when I go to the sea beach, you don't really see the same things. You really see different kind of things in different times. In the morning, in the evening, in the night, right? You don't go to the sea beach at night to see the same thing in the daytime. You really go there different times for different things. So detailing is very important whenever you talk about. So when you talk about what to see, when you talk about, okay, what did you see there, try to divide into time. Okay, this is what you have seen in the morning, that's how you enjoyed that. This is what you see in the evening, that's how you enjoyed that. Okay, so divide. And then what to eat. Whenever you go to a place, you must eat something, didn't it? It's a must. Again, what do we say? Okay, I eat this. Don't do that. Try to also divide it into time. Do you really eat the same thing in the breakfast when you go to visit some places, and the same thing in the lunch, and same thing in the snack, or same thing in the dinner? Not really, no. You eat different things in different time zone. Breakfast, lunch. So divide your foods in 3-4 criteria: breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner, right? Why did you choose that? Now you can also talk more things. Did you really try all the food? We don't, right? Whenever you go to a place, we don't really try all the foods available out there. So for some reasons, we don't do that. One reason can be, okay, also talk about the foods you didn't try, or also talk about the food you try. Maybe you wanted to try that is the traditional food in that place, right? That can be one reason. You wanted to try that so long and then tried that. So you can talk about memory too when talking about the food. And then also in the meantime, you can also talk about, okay, these are the foods I wanted to try, but it was too pricey. You can also talk about that. So see, you can really talk a lot of things when you are talking about the place. The problem is you book yourself only on 4 questions. That's the problem. When you want to talk, you are just booked into 4 questions. So don't read these. Let's go more. Dress. So whenever you visit a place, obviously you wear something, isn't it? And think about it. Do you really wear the same thing in different places? No. Different places you wear different dresses. Sometimes it will going to depends on the weather, how cold or hot it is. Some other times it will going to depends on the what kind of activities you will going to. If you go to the swimming and if you go to the dinner, will you wear the same dress? Not really. If you go to a hills area and then you go to a sea area, will you wear the same dresses? No. So talk about those when talking about dresses when you visit a place. You can also talk about the importance of that place. Any place you talk about, it has the entertainment section, it has the education section. 100%. Wherever you go, with any person you meet, you can learn something. It's mandatory. If you go to a place, you can also learn something. The problem is we don't have the tendency to learn, but you can really learn. Or say you go to a place and then you throw some packets or something, polyethylene, this kind of things you throw in the beach, and one child come here and took those polythene. He really needed to do the hard work because it mixed with the maybe sand and water, so he needed to do the hard work, and by doing that to cover you or to just pick you throwing polythene, he get maybe injured, then you got some kind of education. I should not do that. That's the education you got from there. So see, we always have that kind of things. We can really learn from anything. Just talk about when you visit a place, think about it. See, now you are thinking, okay, can I think about this kind of things in the time of exam? No, you don't need to, because what I am telling you right now, you need to make notes for every point. What kind of dresses I'm going to talk if I visit a sea place? What kind of dresses I'm going to talk if I visit a hill types of places? So this kind of things you already should have notes at your home right now after this class. What kind of things I can say in the breakfast I ate? What kind of things I can say I am the lunch I ate? In the time of exam, when you're going to talk about the cue card, you will not need to think anything because you have already taken the preparation. You will just take some notes a little bit, done. And then how to go there? First step, if you really need to go to a place, you need the transportation, don't you? So see, there are two types of transportation. One is public transport, another one is private transport. So talk about both. How can you talk about both? Because you just choose one, no? Maybe you just choose your car. So say that, why did you choose the car? Because you had the family or something, or you didn't really choose the private transport, you choose the public transport because you didn't have the money in that time. Say that to them. So say about when I was talking about the transport, say public transport if you choose, why didn't you choose the private transport? If you choose the private transport, what type of it is, and why didn't you choose the private transport, public transport? So vice versa, talk about both, what you choose and what you didn't choose, why. And then if you choose the public transport or something, you all really need to buy the tickets. So how did you buy those tickets? What types of payment did you pay? It was online or offline? What is it? So you can also talk about that. And then the timing you visit in that place. Maybe you visited there in January. Maybe that's the best time to go there. Maybe not. That's not the best time. You went there because that's the time you can only get the holiday or some leaves from your office or school or college or whatever it is. So talk about the time you visit there. Also talk about why did you visit there in that specific time. Why didn't you visit other times, other months, other seasons? Isn't it? You can talk about that too. And then you can talk about the area safety. Think about it. Whenever you want to go to a place, you obviously think about the safety out there. Is it safe or not? And then whenever you are talking about the safety, some places is safe in the daytime, some other places are not safe at the night time. Some places are very safe for the guys, some other places may be safe for the guys, not for the ladies. So talk about the safety issues at that place. You can also have some recommendation, how can authorities make these safety issues better? You can have some kind of opinion out there. So talk about the safety. And then criteria. I mean, criteria, when you will talk about the criteria, means what criteria of people really visit that place, because some places popular to some criteria of people. Some places are so much popular with the person, those who are doctor. Some places are popular with the people, those who are elder, because that place is maybe calm and quiet and relaxing. That's the reason they love it. Some places are maybe popular to the kids because there are a lot of activities out there. So talk about that. What types of people really visit there? What ages people visit there? Why? Activities. So whenever you go to a place, you obviously do some of the activities, don't you? But you can also talk about, whenever you are talking about the activities, you can talk about both, like the activities you performed, the activities you didn't didn't perform, because whenever you go to a place, it's really difficult to join or participate all the activities out there, right? We skip some of those. Maybe we didn't have the time, maybe it is too much, I don't know, people just sometimes scared of some activities, right? Like roller coaster, some people don't like it. You can also say that you didn't like that, it was too horrendous for you, you are afraid of it. That was the reason you didn't really participate in that specific activities. And what types of activities did you really participate? Maybe go-kart. So what type of fun did you get out there? Who was your competitor in that activity, right? Sometimes we have like go-kart, you have the competitor there, right? So yeah, so talk about the activities. Then you can talk about the reviews. So there are two types of reviews. Whenever you want to go to a place, you watch the reviews, right? If you nowadays, if you go to the YouTube and search the place, you'll get a lot of reviews, kind of any place in the world right now, right? So there can be two types of reviews. One review is before, so you're going to get those reviews from other people, can be from your friend, family, parents, relatives, or very simply to the YouTube, right? From the review section of a place. And there can be another review is the after review, after you visit. So it will be your review. Another before you visit that place, review from other people, and after visiting that place, review will be yours. Okay, so you can talk about the reviews, like what kind of things people really say. So whenever you go to a place, obviously there are some kind of negatives, maybe a little bit, maybe the room was not too big, maybe you always need to take the permission whenever you need to go out or sign in the paper, like that, or maybe the security was not very good out there, an occurrence really happened with you, maybe you got snatched, you get robbed, just mix up a interesting story. Maybe it will going to, you know, the examiner who will going to listen, he'll feel a little bit of interest out there, isn't it? It's important because you are just having the conversation. If you can do so, just do that. You can also talk about finally an unexpected weather. So maybe you went there to have a good time, but there was a rain from morning to the evening, you couldn't go out, so you are like kind of a little bit okay, like okay, I don't like it, so kind of that. And how did you handle that situation? You can talk about that too. So yeah, that's what really you talk about everything about a place. So see, you don't even need to talk about everything, right? Because if you start talking about everything, it will gonna take like more than 5 minutes, and you will not have that. In around 100 seconds, teacher will going to stop you. So I don't really expect you to say everything. What I want from you, if you can just implement some of these points, just some of these points, you will going to always have more points to talk about. What will going to happen with that? In the speaking section, when we will go to the band descriptors, you'll see they're always looking for mainly one thing: able to keep going, able to keep going. You are not stopping, you are always going, keep going. You're always talking, you are not stopping. So that's very important. If you have a lot of points, you will never gonna stop, because you have always more points to talk about. So yeah, that's what it is. Just try it. This is about the place. Right now, let's talk about the person. What can you really say about a person? First of all, obviously, you're going to talk about the name. What the name of that person, right? Okay, this is the person who I'm going to talk about, maybe Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. So I'm going to say a little bit about the sports side. I'm kind of fan of sports. So name and then age, right? Age of that person, you obviously know. Maybe you are not sure, but you can gauge it, right? You just say, okay, I feel like he's in around 40 maybe. I feel like she's in around 30 maybe, right? Say. And early life means your early life and that person early life. It can be both. How it can be, let me tell you. First of all, think about a person you know from your childhood. Think about a person. Right now, I can think about David Beckham. Hopefully, you know him. David Beckham, a very good footballer. I mean, very popular footballer in our time. So, David Beckham, right? So, if I think about my childhood, I can really describe his time period in those time, right? Like in 2002, 2003, this kind of situation, what he was used to do. So, this kind of thing I really talk. So, early stage, but for now, don't think about this. Talk about that person early stage. Okay, first step, maybe you will going to talk about any person you want to. My suggestion, choose a person with whom you can really talk more. First, if I choose my father, actually the achievement of my father is not more than Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, David Beckham, right? It's not more than them. So if I really talk about them, what will happen? I will have always more points to talk about, isn't it? We actually know a lot of things about there. Who doesn't know about if you follow a little bit of sports, you obviously know what is the childhood stage for Lionel Messi. You know a lot. So you can talk about that. So yeah, that's the thing. And then you can talk about the occupation. what is that person occupation? A person who is all right, what kind of occupation does he do? So see, first of all, Lionel Messi is a sports person, right? But he's a businessman too. Ronaldo is the same. I mean, people always have a lot of businesses out there. Maybe not a lot of, at least one or two professions. Nowadays people barely be on just one professions. Like me, I'm a teacher. I'm also I have also education related business. I have that because I love to teach like the student all over the country or all over the world even. So that's really helped me to just showing my another skills or even earning more money simply. So see, occupation. So the person you will choose, you will see that person also have like other professions too. Maybe he's a sports person, but he's also a businessman. He maybe is a political person, but he is also a businessman, right? Because I have seen a lot of people whoever are successful, they really have at least a little bit small business on the side. So that's what you talk about, occupation. And then a relationship. Okay, first up, what kind of relationship you can talk about? Maybe you're just a follower of that person. That's your relationship. Simple. Maybe that person is your cousin. That is also a relationship. But you talk about the relationship, right? Whenever you talk about a person, you must have some kind of relationship. Maybe he's not your blood related someone, but obviously you have relationship with that person. Think about your friend. He's not the blood related person with you, right? So but whenever you talk about the relationship with that friend, what you say? He's my friend, right? From that time, this kind of thing. So say it, what kind of relation do you really have with that person? Maybe you are a follower, maybe you just admire that person for some specifications. So talk about the relationship and then talk about outfit. See, different people wear different dresses, and also different people wear different dresses in different time. You think about the players when they're in the football player for say, when they're in the field, they wear their dresses like half short sleeves and then like and their jersey, this kind of things. But when they're in a ceremony, when they're in a maybe Ballon d'Or ceremony, they wear like proper dresses, isn't it? With the tie, fancy coats or even blazers, right? Very good. So that's what it is. So you talk about the outfit, talk about the outlook, because different people do it differently. So why don't you talk about the person you like? And then you can also talk about the first meet. I mean, maybe you never meet that person, but you know that person from somewhere, maybe from your mobile phone, from a TV, from a game, right? From a movie. What was the first meet? Like my first meet with David Beckham, I can remember it was the match against Argentina in Argentina in 2002 World Cup. Yes, 2002 World Cup. And that person with the long hair, because all the people in my family was Argentina fan, but I was not that fan in that moment. I was kid in that time. So see, the David Beckham was there. So when I see him, wow, that's the guy, and he scored against the Argentina. So okay, so everyone was like silent when he scored. Like, wow, the power of him, right? He just scored one and everyone was like just silent, go to the silent mode. So yeah, so that's how I met him. I can still remember. So you can also talk about your hero, right? He or she. Okay, so talk about the first mate, and then also talk about the place he lives. Place he lives. I have seen a lot of people, they are not really living in one place. First of all, Lionel Messi is not living in one place. He used to live in Spain. In Argentina he has a home too. And then when he started to play for Paris Saint-Germain, then he had the house in Paris. In France he still had the house in Spain, and then he also had that house in Argentina. And then after that he moved to the USA, and then he had the house in USA. He still had the house in Spain and also the Argentine. So you'll see people live in different places. So if you really know someone is hero to you, obviously you also know where that person lives. So talk about that, maybe purpose. Also talk about the purpose, why that person lives in different places. First, if I talk about why Lionel Messi lives in different places, because Argentina, he born there, right? So he really had a house already there. And then when he moves to the Spain, he was there for so long time, so it became his home, like second home, and his family, everyone was out there. It was very easier for him to be accommodated in that specific area in Barcelona in Spain. So he started living there. It was his second home. Sometimes he go to the Argentina. So that was for him. But when he moved to the France, he thought, and he also had the money, so he thought, okay, Spain is my house still, okay, Argentina is my house too, Spain is my house, I'm not gonna sell my house, so I'm going to go to the France. So they bought another house out there, because I'm going to live here, so I need a house here too, but I'm not going to sell that. So see, people live in different places. So why don't you talk about your man or woman? And then career. You can talk about the career, what you do, what kind of things you have, behavior. So see, it's not mandatory the person you love, the person you feel like that person is hero. It's not mandatory to have all the positive sides. I mean, we are not God, we are human being. We can have the problems as well as the good sides. We can have problems, so why don't you also talk about the positive and negative behavior? Sometimes maybe I have seen the Lionel Messi even like to do the little bit of misbehave in the field. A lot of players do that. So I'm saying, like, why don't you also talk about the bad things if you really want to talk about the good things in the meantime, isn't it? Okay, special traits. See, all the human being in this world have some kind of special traits, right? Maybe hardworking, maybe honesty. So special traits. All the people in the world cannot just do the hard work. A focus, it is another special trait. All the people cannot have the focus, right? Just think about the focus point in the first minute, and you think about the focus point right now in this class. There is some difference out there, don't you feel like that? Maybe in the first moment you had less or more, now maybe a little bit less or more, right? So you cannot really maintain that focus point always the same. If some people can do that, so that's a special trait. You talk about the special trait, it can some have positive special trait, some have like negative special trait. Talk about both. And then also popularity. See, all the people are not really popular to all the people. It's very simple, isn't it? Sometimes maybe, but think about it. Do you think the person, think about a hero, or think about someone you follow? Do you think all the people in your country really follow that person? No, not really. He's popular to some people, and you'll see some people are popular in city area, some people are popular in village area, isn't it? Some people are popular to the kids, some other people popular to the young, some people are popular to the older people, and again some people are popular to the guys, some people are popular to the girls. So talk about the popularity, to whom your person are popular to, and why also. And then you can also talk about how you like that person, some social impact, what he is doing for the society, this kind of thing. You can also talk about. See, again, you don't need to talk about everything I have said about a person. You can also add by yourself, but I think if you can just implement some of these points, it will be very easier for you to handle. Oh, you can talk more. We have more points out there. Okay, you can talk about the hobby, right? Every person have a little bit of hobbies, so you can talk about the hobby, right? You can talk about some particular activities, his hobby. And philanthropic and volunteer work, what kind of things he's doing for the society, for the people, right? Spending time, how that person is really spending his maybe laser time. You can talk about that. You can talk about his qualification or her qualifications, right? You can talk about the punctuality, is he punctual or not? You can talk about his creativity, right? Or her memory. You can really share any memory with that person, like I shared just a memory with the David Beckham, right? I can share really another one. I can share like many more with a lot of players. So see, you can also have a very good memory. Maybe you just watched his match, maybe you just watched his acting, maybe you just watched his any program. So just talk about any memory. It need not to be very emotional, just talk about it. It can be funny, no problem. So you can say the last memory you had. That's what I recommend, because it's very easy to put into the story when you are saying a story to the person in front of you, to the teacher. Hey, so you know, the last time I met him, actually I didn't meet him, I was just watching a program in the TV and he was there. So see what happened out there. So see, you put it into the story. So that's how you say about the last memory. And then you can also talk about the achievement and personal award. Yeah, so that's how you handle your person. So again, don't need to say everything, just implement some of this. And then finally, product. Okay, all right, product. So let me just say it in a very direct way and a very short period of time. So whenever you talk about the product, think about a product at your home, maybe a fridge, maybe an air conditioner. So talk about the name of that product first. Also talk about the brand name. It's not band name, it's brand name. Okay, it was done by a student. And the type, what type of product you are talking about, because product have a lot of types. It can be electronic, fancy furniture, it can be any device of yours like mobile phone, laptop. What type of product you are talking about, say that. You can talk about the price, but whenever you are want to talk about the price, don't just say it was $100. Don't say that. You say in that way the main price, the discounted price. Okay, there was just $5 discount, so I grabbed that with a happy face. Talk about the discount, even talk about the bargain. But if you had any chance to do the bargaining, there are a lot of places you can really go there. I really enjoy that, to go there to bargain the price. You know how the bargain happen? Say there's it is $100. I'm gonna say no, I think you're saying a bit more. What about 70? There's what? No, you're saying well, too much low. Okay, for you 95. No, it is still too much high. Okay, not mine, not yours. Let's go with 80. you are a tough guy, right? You are a tough guy. See, I'm telling you the last price, you take it or you go away. 90. Okay, done. That's how you do the bargaining. Okay. So see, did you do any kind of bargaining out there? Are you successful or are you not? All right. So just say, okay, it was like $100. If you had some discount, talk about that. If you had some kind of bargaining, say, talk about that too. If you had the EMI, say that. I mean, talk about it. It's important, right? So just go into the details. And installations, anything you buy needs installation. Even a mobile phone, right? You need to on it. You need to some kind of go through installation. Your computer, your laptop, your air conditioner, your fridge. You need to do the installation. So how did you do that? Talk about it. Talk about it. Did the shopkeeper or any person from the shop really helped you, or you did it by yourself? Why? Say, talk about it and how. And then user, a gender perspective. I mean, whenever you buy a product or any product, it's have a really gender perspective. First, think about it. Don't you think all the people, all the gender don't really like the same thing? First, when I first went to a shop to buy an air conditioner, I was asking them, can I get it in black? Right. It was kind of like, from the Dark Knight Rises when Bruce and I like, can I get it black? Right. So I was like, can I get it in black? And they said, no, sir. It's in white. It's okay. All right, let's go with it. So yeah, that's what you say. Like whatever you buy, it have a gender perspective. Maybe girls like that most, guys like that most, but you still need it, right? Kind of like that. And then manufacturer. Think about it. Whenever you buy a product, first say you want to buy an Apple product, you don't go to their main office in USA, right? You just buy it from here. So there are manufacturer, there are some shops, there are some people, those who are really providing you that product. So how did you get that product? You obviously didn't go to the USA. You maybe bought it from a super shop. Maybe you bought it through online shop. But how did you bought it? Talk about that and why. Why didn't do? Why did if you first say if you bought it on online? First say you bought it on online. You didn't get it through by go to a shop. So talk about it. Why did you buy it online? Because maybe they had some kind of offer out there. Maybe you didn't have the time to go to the shop. Why did you buy from a shop? Why didn't you choose online? Because this is something you are spending a lot of money for. That's obvious for you to go to a shop and check it out by your own hand. Take the touchy feeling. Okay, so yeah, but I mean, talk about that. Why did you choose that specific shop to buy online directly, whatever it is? And then talk about the even you can also talk about the popularity of the, because all the product are not really popular. Sometimes we buy the most popular product, sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes we just buy the product that we need, even it is not popular, correct? So like last time when I started to, or I was thinking about buying a laptop, then the person who is helping me for everything, I was asking him, can you look for a laptop that is I'm gonna work only for my office purpose, nothing else. I don't want to play games out there, just office purpose. Just I'm gonna type and think, send emails, very easy. I want a laptop that will be light. I can really carry it. I will be able to just do the work whenever, even when I am just laying down in my bed. So a lightweight laptop. So I don't want, or I didn't want a popular laptop. I wanted the laptop that is really suitable for me, isn't it? So talk about it. Is popular or no popular? Why did you choose that kind of discussion? And then eco-friendly. See, it's very important whenever we talk about a product. It's very important, even as a person, is it eco-friendly or not? It is not possible to buy eco-friendly product all the time, but at least you recognize it. At least you say to yourself, yes, I did buy a eco-friendly product. I did buy a product that is not eco-friendly. Just feel yourself responsible even in your real life. Okay, just forget about the real life, but you can really talk about it. Eco-friendly, is your product eco-friendly or not? Okay, and then advantages. See, any product you buy, it will always have the advantages. It is always gonna have some kind of disadvantages. You're always going to have some positive sides, also the negative sides in the meantime. So you make sure you talk about both. You talk about the advantages, positive sides. You also in the meantime talk about the disadvantages. Quality. See, it is not really possible to buy the best quality in the world all the time, is it? It's not just possible for everyone. Like when you buy a product that is, I don't know, you can you just buy the best product in the world? Not really. So there is some problem, obviously, right? Maybe you didn't have the money, or I didn't have the money. Let's talk about me. Maybe I didn't have the money, or I couldn't just afford it, right? Or I just didn't need it. Simple. So talk about that, right? The positives and the negatives, also the quality in the meantime. And also talk about the longevity. Okay, first say if you're using a product for 7 days, how can you talk about the longevity? But at least talk about what they have said you, right? Whenever we buy a product, we all obviously say them like, okay, how long I can use it? 5 years, 5 months, 5 days, right? We ask them that at least we think that in our neurons. So if you have a long time you are using it, 5 years, you say it. If you are just using the product you want to talk for a very short time, then you can say, okay, I feel like it will going to last 5 years because this fridge, my aunt also using it for 5 years and it is still new, kind of, or still not have any problem if not new. So I can at least expect it will going to serve me for at least next 5 years. So that's how you talk about the longevity, isn't it? And then warranty and replacement, this kind of service, you can also talk about that. Every product, if there is any warranty, you can say, yeah, that is the warranty for 2 years, that is the warranty for 2 months, 2 days, whatever. So you talk about the warranty. Replacement service, will you get the replacement service or not? Like I wanted to just order a recliner a few days ago. Then I was looking for a recliner in the online, obviously looking for a recliner. Are they giving any kind of opportunity to replace it after 7 days? Because as I'm buying in online, when they will just deliver it, there can be some issues that I will not be, maybe I'll not be able to recognize in a day. So maybe I'll not need to like 3-4 days. So I was looking for some shop that's those who are giving like 7 days replacement, at least like 7 days. If you feel any kind of problem, we're gonna replace you, replace the product. So see, if there is the replacement service out there, you can say. If not, you can also say that there was no replacement service and I don't think I need it because I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna check it by myself, I'm gonna bring it with me, so I don't feel the need of it. If there is, say it. If there is not, say it. There is no replacement warranty, right? Yeah. And also you can talk about the reviews or overviews. So whenever you buy a product, there are 2 types of review, again like the praise that we discuss in the place. So one is before review, before you buy the product, that will be other people review, like you like, okay, how is it, what kind of feature does it have? You go to, maybe you just ask someone who is using that product, or you just go through some kind of online reviews, YouTube, right? That's what you have done. The reviews from other people, and then you are using that product right now, right? So you can talk about you review right now. So other people review before, and after using it, you review. All right. So again, you don't really need all the points out there, just pick some and just implement those. But see, from tomorrow you will not be able to implement all the points out there. It will be very difficult for you. So what I suggest you, for the person, see, for the person, what do? Just choose 2%. Choose 2% out there, not more, just 2% out there. And then when you choose the 2% per place, choose 2 place, 2 different types of place. 2 product, choose 2 product, different types of product. So 2, 2, 2. And then implement the notes that I have just shown you, right? Implement these notes into those 2 place, 2 products, 2 persons. That's how you do it. If you can do it in that manner, hopefully you will never gonna out of the ideas, out of the points while answering IELTS QCAT. All right, goodbye. For the next one. And one more job I really want to give you before I finish. Just 1 minute, one more job. What you're going to do, just go through from Cambridge 19. When you'll finish taking notes for 2%, 2 place and 2 product, go through Cambridge 19 from 19 to okay, let's go for like 15 or 14 if you can, if you have the time, and choose. You'll see 90% of the QCAT will going to be product, place and person. And what you will try after taking the notes, right? Try to memorize some notes. It will going to help you. After memorizing some notes, then just try the question from the Cambridge. Try to say it, record it, listen to it, right? You'll see you will never gonna have the any kind of problem with generating the ideas or points. Okay, all right, thank you very much. See you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.